Working. So, hello everyone at Circles of Inspiration. Great to see you here. I'm so happy that you are here. We sent this message out a couple days ago because I wanted to give you the heads up about this Facebook Live. Sometimes I go live and I don't give you any warning, but it was really important that you should know that I'm interviewing a very special friend and co-owner of our company together today with you, Debbie Prediger. Debbie, thank you for joining me. I'm so happy that you're here.
Thank you, Anna, I'm really humbled to be asked to share my story and to be interviewed by you, because you know quite a bit of it. That even feels more special to me. So thank you so much.
Thank you. So, Debbie, if you didn't know, Circles of Inspiration, I've been here since 2011 with my inspirational page, and we attract a lot of amazing folks, just real soulful, heart-led, heart-centered people that want to live their best life and also extend that out to the rest of the world. I have both, your everyday person that is here just for, a great affirmation for the day, or a great article or great content or a class that we do through the Wellness Universe and that, we put together. And I also have some really amazing folks who are part of my world that also are those who seek to make the world a better place. And you are the crossroads of that. You are a self-made, self-created, successful woman who is led by your heart and your savvy business strategy and drive, which I lean on you so much through the Wellness Universe. And me as an individual, you're my confidant. And for everyone to know, Debbie here is my confidant in business and as my friend. And she has inspired me so much, and not only inspired me on this level where I aspire to be like Debbie, but she really guides me, and she guides me in a way in which I watch what you do, Debbie. Aside from when we have our communications, I watch what you do, and I see that you are in that operation. You are coming from that space all the time, whether you're instructing someone from the strategy and the black and the white of something, and here's what you need to do. But I see you always going back to, does this make sense for me? Does this work for me? And how can I take what needs to be done, but it comes from me and my heart, and where I'm happy and successful at the same time. So all of these things are the Debbie that I know, and I'm so excited to bring your personal story, because this comes from your years of being here on this earth and all of the things you've ever done. So Debbie, can you please share with me, wherever you want to start from the beginning, all your journey from, and I think, from your childhood is a really great place to start, because wow, what a story you have. So please tell us a little bit about you and about your background, and then we'll get into all your successes.
Okay, well, anybody's story, there is a million. So I'm just going to take a piece in time that I feel was really important to why I am on a mission. And really, it comes from me being a people pleaser. I was that person that kind of really wanted to blend in and not stand out, because it was easier to just maneuver through life if I just blended in. If I got a little too loud, or if I got a little too showy, there was always no, go stand back. And whether that was said or whether that was my perception of what I felt, it was easier for me to step up and just do what was expected, or what was even not expected, like the hidden nuances of somebody saying, oh, I wish such and such. Well, Debbie would just zip right over there and do that. That's the type of person that I was. And it served me well until it didn't, until there was burnout, until there was a level of emptiness, until I was so exhausted, both emotionally and physically, that there had to be a new way. And so my story of why I empower others is, and as you said earlier, it's not about you doing the, 3 things that I did, but what will work for you. The reason that I empower others and how I empower others is really to see who you are, from a soul level, like what really lights you up? Seriously, what makes you happy? How can you do more of that and let go of the things that really empty your cup, have you feeling restricted and hopeless and all those things? And so my journey started as a child, but it didn't hit that pivotal point until I was an adult with 2 children and a full-time job in nursing and helping my husband run the farm and volunteering all over the community. And that pivotal points was I couldn't do it anymore. And my body was screaming very loudly at me that I couldn't. But I mentally was fighting against my body. There was an incongruency there that was like, no, I'm fine. I can do this. And, when the doctors they were trying so hard to figure out what was wrong with me. And they would say, well, are you stressed? And I'm like, no. I look back at that now and I was in complete denial, complete survival mode, complete just keep moving one foot in front of the other and it'll all work out. And that is why I'm here, to empower people to live their best life, because I never want that to happen to them.
Debbie, and this is just really touching the surface. So I see the way that you empower people. I witness it. We've done projects together. Again, you're head of strategy, the business strategy for the Wellness Universe. You have your own business. And anyone who knows me knows that I've worked with thousands of coaches over the past years. And I am one to cheerlead on anyone who's making the world a better place and seeing them rise to the responsibility that they've set for themselves to make the world a better place is where I get my compensation, to see them really moving the needle. And sometimes I am disenchanted because I get to see people just practicing something and regurgitating something that they've been taught, where I see you not just teach what you've been taught, but you're channeling it, you're bringing it through in your own unique way and connecting with the folks who want to make the world a better place in your way, because you have this very intuitive nature, but you've done so much work on yourself that you really know how to focus and say, is this for me? Is this for them? Do I need to deliver this message for them? You're so great at really tuning in and not just putting on a production or delivering content or information. You really work with the energy of the person so they can become more successful. And this is where I'm so impressed. And I've used your phrase before on a couple of my posts. And I love when you say, what else is possible? And you never see anything as an end all be all challenge that you can't overcome. Please tell me a little bit more about the what else is possible.
Oh, I love that you brought this up. So when I went through that whole burnout and I really had to discover who I was and what was causing that constriction and that pain in my body and all of those things, we won't go into that today, but I really found energy work. And through energy work, I found the brain. And I got really fascinated between the heart and the brain connection and energy flow and what constricts us and holds us back and what opens us up to the possibilities. And one of the phrases that I started doing was, what else is possible that I've never even imagined before? And that was like a door just whoosh opened up and went, oh, I'll tell you what's possible. I'll show you what's possible. Thanks for asking. That's the energy that I felt. And when you talk about, that I am very intuitive, I actually have all the clairs. And it was something that as a child, I did not know and I did not like. And it took me down a whole bit of turmoil. And again, that's a conversation for another day. What was really interesting as I started empowering others, I could hear their fears. I could feel in their body where they had a restriction. I knew even before they knew. And my empowerment coaching is never about take this pill and it'll fix you, do this thing and it'll fix you. It's about awareness. And so my job is to help them see it and feel it and know it for themselves, to have those aha moments. So I'm always leading from that place of really listening to what's coming through me, but also what they're projecting. What is that fear? What is that deep wish, that dream that they have on their heart? Many times they haven't even allowed themselves to think about it themselves. Like they really haven't admitted they have that bigger dream. So we live in this, we can live in this surface level where we think it's acceptable to have certain dreams because we felt, our peers have them or the other coaches have them. But what about if you allowed yourself to dream so big and that you listened to that inner wisdom, that calling, that purpose-driven burning desire that you have that you just can't let go of? What if we can tap into that? And what if your body and your channeling and your own wisdom can actually tell you that there's so much more possible here than you're allowing yourself to bring? That's when I got really excited. That's when I realized that I actually do have a unique gift and I can help people bring the best out in them. But I went through all of those same things that the people I'm coaching go through. It's like, why is this for me? Are you sure it's me? Why me? What do I have that's so special? And we have to grow through that. But the only way we can grow through that is by stretching ourselves to and acknowledging that those are fears, those are thoughts that we have. And you know that I'm all about the congruency. So if there's a gap between what you say you want and what action you're taking to get it, there's probably energy stuck somewhere in your body. It can be an old belief system. It can be a wound. It can be a trauma. It can be just ancestral DNA that's just jammed in there so tight. And so I have tips and tools and all that type of things that help you clear the old and reset and build the new belief system. But honestly, it starts with the freedom, the desire to have the freedom of choice, and then the awareness of what are you actually choosing and what else is possible that you've never even imagined before, and then actually committing and choosing that.
Thank you for sharing that in such a detailed and in-depth way. And everyone who's watching, I'm sorry, I'm so into this conversation. I'm not paying attention to the comments right now, but please drop your questions for Debbie. And let us also know where you're from, because I love hitting a global audience, with these Facebook Lives. It really shows the impact that we're making with these real pivotal conversations. Debbie, I just want to bring this back to me. I'm just going to say it's about me. So I'm just going to say to you that I know for a fact that in my positional leadership of the wellness universe and leading this organization that has been around for nearly 9 years, almost a decade, that when I have conversations with other coaches who are business strategists or, just up level your business, I'm going to be completely honest. People come to me with either a really big ego, like they got something to teach me, or they don't know how to work with me because I have so much going on that they are, again, because these are other coaches that are just doing the textbook thing for other business leaders, and they don't really know how to work with me. And all of this time, I've never really landed with someone that I feel like I can go knock on your door and have coffee with you, and you're my next door neighbor and you're my best friend. And you also know what's best for me and my business through helping guide me through self-inquiry, as well as like, hey, did you look at this? Hey, did you look at that? Hey, what else is possible? Again, and this is honestly, and I know that we're doing this as an interview, and even if we were off camera, we'd probably be having this conversation the same way. I just want everyone to know that this is the most unique, dynamic relationship that I've ever had, because I feel it is very give and take between you and you're not scared to call me out on like what to look at. And at the same time, the way your energy comes to me and the way that you come to me and you press on my bruises and you poke the holes that I have, right? Because we all do. None of us are perfect. you know? And when you do that in such a way that my response is always like, oh yeah, you know, that sounds like it's it. Let's look at that. And you seem to hone in right on what the thing is that needs to be exposed or looked at or reviewed. Like you were saying, you have this way. So how do you, so you mentioned all the clairs, and I know it's for another conversation, but just so everyone understands, these are all the different ways that people get intuitive readings, and it's through scent, it's through hearing, it's through visions. And so those are the clairs. You can go look them up: clair audio, clairvoyance, all that stuff. But so we won't get into that, but I just wanted, for people who don't know who the clairs were, they maybe thought you were your
Yeah.
best friends, the clairs, like the Heathers. But can you, how does it actually feel for you to be in this position and it's just so easy and natural for you to
Yeah.
help someone?
Yeah. Well, first of all, if you are my client or if you are somebody that is asking, it is a very easy flow. The rest of the time, I'm turning that off, right? I walk into a room and somebody's soul is speaking to me and saying, help this person. And I'm like, nope, that is off limits. So I just don't want anybody to think that, you know, Debbie's so weird that she's going to know all your thoughts and fears and everything like that, is because there's a boundary. I just don't do that. So with my clients, first of all, it's always about setting the stage for more awareness. They have to actually choose that awareness. Just like I had to choose back at that pivotal point, I could have kept my head in the sand and continue to have my body react and have pain and disease show up. Or I could open up and saying, what's here for me to see, hear, and know? What is my body actually trying to tell me? And so when I have a client or a student that's asking for this information, we have deeper conversations, and I feel the triggers. I feel the the close down, the shutdown. I hear the fears. I might feel it in a certain part of my body that I know, such as, you know, a lower back is feeling very unsupported or abandoned. Lungs is grief. There's different parts of your body that is corresponding to the pain that you're feeling. But more than that, that's just the start of the investigation point for me to go, ooh, I wonder if there's something here. And when I open up to I wonder and curiosity, it's like there is a channel that opens up between us, that are the person I'm helping and myself. What you said, and I'm going to go back to one of our senior partners, David McLeod, also said about me, is that I have this ability to pull in the big picture and bring it down to that person and that struggle. And that's really what it's about. At first, you're in the investigation mode. You're curious, you're hearing, you're listening, you're wondering what's happening. And then you're like filtering out what's the bullshit story, what's the fear, what's the desire. And I always like to go more into what is possible and what would I love, versus those fears and the objections are just a thing for me to know about. It's kind of like, okay, I get that. I'll put that in my back pocket, because when fear raises its ugly head and stops that person dead in their tracks from doing the action that's going to move their business forward, I'll pull that back out and we'll investigate that. But for now, it's just an awareness. So we start going to more of the opening and expansion energy, the awakening, the what else is possible, what would I love, and get that pulled out of them. And when I can get them into that mindset of what's possible and expansion and anything is possible and I am possible and this is possible and life was meant to be fun and joyous and it's not supposed, if we're grinding and pushing boulders uphill, there's something wrong. We're not congruent. And when I can feel that for my client, then I know exactly what they need. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, and I want to know, how does that make you feel? I mean, do you feel like you're living in your purpose? Do you feel like you've just released the valve? Like, because I got to know how that feels. I know how I feel when I'm living
Yeah.
in my purpose. Just
Yeah.
explain to me what it feels like, because I see your face lighting up right now.
Yeah, I love that question. I love that you took me there. So what does that feel like when you can be the solution, but it's not like I'm God and I'm the solution for all people. but I am the instrument that source is using. And I get tingles in my body as I say that, because that's what lights me up. That's the transformation that's possible for anybody. There isn't anybody that I've met. There's no judgment ever in my world, but there's nobody that needs to be fixed. You don't need to come to me like I'm a doctor and I'm just going to like fix this little thing. What it is that you have everything you need inside of you. And I'm just meant to pull out the good and the dreams and the values and all that stuff so that you can get congruent. So there's not a gap between what you say you want and what you're actually willing to go into. And I believe that we all were born with this beautiful mission or calling on our heart. And unfortunately, some people feel like they are a victim of all of their life's experiences. And I was there too, so I'm not judging. But until we can flip that around and go, what's the good in this? Like, what is the gift in this experience? And believe me, there's lots of experiences that I've been through. And I think that's what also makes me a really good coach, is that you are like, how do I see the experience of the gift in death? How do I see that in abuse? How do I see that in neglect? But when we can get you into that frame of mind of what else is possible, what would I love, life is happening for me, there's a difference, there's a shift in you. And that shift is, okay, I'm the creator. I actually get to choose this. So what am I choosing? At every moment, am I choosing to stay stuck and figure out what's wrong in my life? Or am I choosing to go, how can I take what happened to me or through me and help somebody else so that they don't have to suffer the way I suffered, or there's a fast track. So really that mission that I have is always to find out what they truly want. And then what is that fast track to get it? And is there even more? Is there another layer? And I believe that there's always another layer, but is there even another layer after we get to that one that's going to take them to the next level? We talk about leaders, and I want to really make sure that people understand when I say this, I don't talk about all leaders as in you're leading 1 million people, you're leading 1,000 people, you're leading 10 people. If you are a leader of yourself, if you are creating the life that you love, that's rippling out. That empowerment, people see that. You stand up strong and confident and bold, and people will magnetize to you. So you're being a leader just by leading yourself. The other point that I want to make is, even though we have big dreams and we know we were meant for more, it starts with you leading one person, yourself. Then it starts with you leading one other person. And if you can lead that other person and then help them lead their people, pretty soon that ripple effect and that audience grows so big, aligned audience, not come listen to me and I'm going to pull you in and you're going to listen. But these people want to be near you. There's an aligned mission and purpose. I believe we each have a calling. It comes from our life's experiences. It was teaching us and showing us that there's a way out. And when we figure that out and create the life we want, then we're to teach that to someone else. And when we teach that to the people we're meant to teach to, because I always say your soul's been talking to mine for a long time, so now let's actually have a connection. Then when we do that, then you watch this ripple and ripple and ripple, and it's a beautiful thing. So how do I feel? I feel empowered. I feel like that is the gift that I can give to the world. And when somebody comes back to me and says, like, you changed my life. Like, I used to believe that this was possible, but you shifted me to believe bigger, or you shifted me to understand that there was another level to this, or I was on this path that I thought that I had to do such and such and such, but it was hard and I wasn't enjoying life. And you opened it up to go, what if it was easy? Like simple questions can sometimes just open up and just blast you forward. And in months, everything in your life can change.
Debbie, this conversation is so juicy. Please, everyone who's here with us live, drop a comment and just give me a heart if it's resonating with you. Debbie, there was a couple other questions. I like to keep these 20 minutes to a half an hour. And of course, you and I, we could talk for hours. I mean, me and you can curl up on the couch and again, have a wine or a beer or a cup of coffee or whatever. And we could just talk for hours because this is such like what we are born to do. So a couple of things. First, I would love to hear your advice for someone who feels like they don't have any support but have a big dream to share with the world. What would
Mm.
you say in a minute or less to guide them, to inspire someone who really wants to do something, but they're a little bit scared and also maybe they don't have any support around them or they don't know where to start? Any of that.
Yeah, perfect. So first of all, if you already know you were meant for more and you have a dream on your heart and you just don't know the how to get it out there, join me. Like that's everything I talk about all day long. So inside my Empowering You community or inside of my classes that I do, come knock on my door, say hi, start sharing your dream with me. That's the first thing that I'm going to say. If you are somebody that's like been doing this for a long time and you're like, I think there's another level to this. Like I'm not as joyful as I was or inspired or motivated as I was. It's not as fun as it used to be. That's the resistance. And that's okay. Instead of recognizing the resistance as something's wrong, I failed. No, it's just our North Star to go, there's another level here. There's another level of remembering. There's another level of surrender. There's another level of stepping into your power. And again, join me. I want to help you through that. So I think that's going to be the first thing. But really, honestly, and I know you asked me to keep it to a minute or less, but we have to know and unveil who we are. And in order to do that, you have to take time to listen. Your body, your mind, your thoughts are telling you. Sometimes they're telling you lies. So again, not the victim, but the what else is possible. But if you need help uncovering that, again, hang around me and my group because we're all doing that all day long. What else is possible here? Who has a bigger dream? We're holding each other's dreams. We're lifting each other up. We're celebrating with each other. And that is the ripple effect of one person declaring that they were meant for more and they're stepping into that.
I love that, Debbie. And the invitation to link arms with you is so essential. If anyone's here with us live right now and you're part of Debbie's group and part of the conversation she has going on her groups on Facebook, drop a link, drop a little comment and say how amazing she is, because this is how people are really going to know. It's through those that are here with us and they're going to, shout you from the rooftops. Also, if you want to connect with Debbie, just write connect and Debbie will get back to you on the comments here. Also, if you have a friend or someone that you know that would benefit from this conversation, tag them. Just put their name and then you'll see their name in the drop down and click on their name so they're tagged so they get to see this. Those are three things that you could do for yourself and to create a ripple effect of success and happiness in the world and people living in their purpose. Now, Debbie, again, we're going to go over the half hour only because I have too much to talk to you about. One more thing. What is aside from talking about what you got coming up, really, what is your ultimate goal? What's your ultimate goal, Debbie?
My ultimate goal is to connect these thought leaders, these visionaries, these people with dreams on their heart, and they've listened to the calling and they just want to. I don't want people to do it alone. So I want to connect them. I want to link arms with leaders. I want to all of us rise together. So we're this big, huge community of world changers, visionaries, thought leaders that know that there's more possible. We're doers, we're action takers. And in order to do that, that's where I am out there serving the masses, the people that know they were meant for more. They don't know how to do it. Like you said, I love strategy. I also love learning new things. I'm constantly in high-level masterminds where I'm connecting and making really big decisions. And that is what I take my students and my people I'm mentoring through as well. So I'd never hoard this information for myself. It is meant for me to pull through me, put in my own words and language, pull out the stuff that I think is just fluff, and then give it out to my people.
I love it. And I think I mentioned this to you before, you really bring the love and the light and the black and the white. You bring the real business and strategy along with, we are human beings and this is what we're here to do, and you help us marry them both so we're happy and healthy, mind, body, soul, and professionally, and healed. And this is so important. So one of the things that I know we have launched at the Wellness Universe last year was Wellness for All. And our Wellness for All programming, you have had such a huge part of with your former series of Business Momentum and Strategy, where you brought on all of these different guests and tackled a different theme and a different topic of an area of expertise, to help heart-led entrepreneurs and business owners to really hone their craft and become more successful in their own right. What's really great about being part of that program, Wellness for All, is that you've been offering these for free and donation-based. So essentially, you enroll for free and you get to pay whatever you can. And I know that a session with you is worth hundreds of dollars, and multiple sessions are worth basically thousands. And you do everything live first, because people can get the one-on-one coaching from you and also have questions and answers time with you at the live, which is something that most people don't do. They just record everything and upload it.
Yeah.
So this is really important. But the greatest thing is that as a business owner can fit into their budget what they can afford to pay, and also it's a tax write-off because it's learning for them. So they can attend your session, your Wellness for All session, but you have now finished with the one group of sessions, and now you're going to be doing an online course creation session, which is a little bit different than your typical course creation course. So
Absolutely.
Can you please tell us a little bit about that, who it's for and what you're going to be sharing?
Yeah, thank you. So it is for heart-led entrepreneurs. It's for people that, they don't know who they're selling to. So I'm going to back up just a little bit. And I know that we're wanting to keep this short, but I'm going to go back up. So I'm part of the world where we started calling ourselves the knowledge brokers, and it's with Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins. And there was thousands, I think 30,000 people joined the very first time, and they had a mission, they had a message, but they had no idea, who is my audience? How do I find my audience? Who am I? What should I teach? Like, what do people want to learn? So there are all these questions that come in, and sometimes people would like hone in and they would like do the things like we talked about earlier, the gurus that would say, do these 5 things and then it'll all work out. And other people just left frustrated. Like, I did all those things, but I'm not attracting my audience. I'm not selling my courses. I'm not connecting. Well, Anna, you and I talk about real life connections, real relationships, really knowing your people. It starts with knowing who you are and what lights you up and who you serve. What is that mission? But when you're done with that, then who is the people you actually serve? Like, what are their core values? What are the words that resonate for them? What are the thoughts? Like, we're not talking marketing strategy where we're saying like, say this one word and all these people will follow you. I'm talking about heart and soul connection, real relationships where, I only want to serve my people because I know my people will appreciate it and they will love it. And I can do huge things through them. If you brought in, one of the tests in our world is like, if I opened up the room of 100 people in this room and you knew that they were your people, what would you talk about? Because if you're in your glory, if you're in that space where everything's flowing, you know exactly what you talk about. You wouldn't need to prepare. You would walk in and you would have a conversation about a theme that you're very passionate about. It flows through you. You wouldn't worry about it all you didn't have a presentation, because those are your people. And I get chills as I say that. I hope people hear that. When they are your people, they are your people. And we all have those people, but we need to know who we are so we know who our clients are. And when we know who they are, we know what they need. We know what they search for. We know their fears. We know what lights them up, and we know their teaching style. So when you said that I love to teach live, when I first started taking these courses, everybody told me I had to do pre-recorded. And that is why my classes are always customized to what's happening in the room that day, because that doesn't resonate with me. I don't feel the heart and soul of the speaker. I don't have the connection. I want somebody that literally can hear what's happening in the room and feed that energy into it so that everybody walks away with an aha moment. I love interaction. I love breakout rooms. I love comments. We learn from each other. So I am not the professor at the front of the room telling you a dry history lesson. This is about, what do you need and does it resonate with you? And there's days that I'm maybe not at my best and I'm not resonating. I can always toot it back. I can feel in that the audience is missing the point, or there's something else that needs to be said. And that's where the intuition comes. What is really happening here? What's the swirling energy that nobody's speaking about, but there's actually, the elephant in the room that let's have a conversation about. And I'm all about that. Let's have that conversation. There's a reason we need to have that, be aware of it, call it out, make a decision about it, whether we're moving forward with it or whether we just needed to see it and then release it. But there's always a choice, an empowered choice when we get into that place of that higher consciousness and heart-led entrepreneurs. So maybe I went totally off there, but who is it for? It's for somebody that really knows they want to figure this all out. But it's not going to be do this, this, and this. It's going to be reflection time. It's going to be, let's get to know each other better. I want to know your dreams so that I can strategize and say, I think this could work. Let's try that. There's accountability. There's going to be a great connection. I believe in all the classes that I do, very few times the students don't become one really blended family. It's something that I love to create because community is so important to me. But when you hear somebody else's dreams and their mission on their heart, and when they're vulnerable and they tell you why this is important to them, it no longer is just a course. It is actually a movement. And that's what I love to create.
I love that. And I love how you're actually setting everyone up for success with what it is that they have inside of them to teach out to the world with your new course. But let me say one thing that I've never said about anyone before, ever, Debbie. I've never said this about anyone. If you think back to when you were a child, all through, and actually through college, that one impactful teacher that you'll always remember who's really changed your life, and they were kind with you when maybe you didn't understand something. They taught you something that you really took through the rest of your life. They not only gave you the content, like you were saying before, the content and recorded sessions, but the content in the classes, but they really cared about you and you felt that. And you'll always remember that teacher till you die. You will remember that teacher. After growing up, I don't think I've come across many people in my life that I can say, this person has impacted me so much, not just because of the content that they brought, but the who they are and what they mean to me. Your significance in my life, Debbie, and I know so many people, like you said, our senior partners, we're like, what does Debbie think? Or what does Debbie have to say about this? You create such an impact in my life. It's that same feeling in my adult life that I can recollect about having that feeling and that impact from one of my teachers when I was a child. That's who you are to me. You have impacted my life so much. So I want to say thank you. And it's not easy.
Thank you. That is the beautifulest testimony I've had, because Anna, that's what I want to be for everyone. I want them to understand that they matter, their message matters, their dreams matter, that they are enough, that they are chosen for this, that it's no accident that is a burning desire they have. And even if they're trying to squash it down, that's okay. That's just fear. And we can work through the fear and we can stand up and we can be that. And, you took me right back to a time, some of the people in my life that have been there. And what was the as they ran through my mind, what was the centering thought? They believed in me.
Mhm.
They believed it was possible, and I didn't. I needed to borrow that belief from them and see myself through their eyes so that I could recognize that it was possible. And that's what I've said from the day one. I'm holding up a mirror so you see the greatness that I see.
I love that. You're a belief lender. You're a belief lender. I love that you just said, I have the belief in you, so you can borrow it from me. So it's like your launch pad. Debbie, we have gone way over time, but I'll tell you what, I am so excited. And everyone just, if you're still with us, throw a heart.
Yeah.
Please say connect if you want Debbie to connect with you. Debbie will be sharing her links to her groups in the comments after we're done. But Debbie, I am so grateful and I'm so honored that God put us on each other's path, that we have intersected, and that we have just become such great friends, and that you're one of the owners of the Wellness Universe with us now, and you are the head of our business strategy. Um, this is by no mistake, and I don't mind sharing you with the rest of the world, because I know everybody who's going to be exposed to you now and will see that there is a light for them at their end of their particular tunnel, and you'll meet them there. So, and for your course, your online course creation course, it's going to be launching next Monday
Yes.
live. We're going to record them, folks, but you want to show up to that live. You do not know the impact and how much more benefit that you get from being there live. And I've already put in the link in the description of this Facebook Live. And if anybody can't find that link, just ask for the link in the comments and we'll get it to you. But Debbie, any final words of inspiration for those who really have a big dream on their heart?
I think that I will just leave it with follow your joy. Life was meant to be fun. And when you let joy be your guiding light, that North Star, you can't do it wrong. Your body knows what is joyful, what is like yucky. And when you're really honest with yourself, you open up to more possibilities. Yeah, fear helps you. It feels you have to stretch. That's okay. We've got you. Stretching is good. Stretching is growing, but there's always that joy. There's always that leading the way. And so it sounds really simple, but honestly, we overcomplicate most things. So again, I want to connect. When Anna said, offered that Debbie would connect with you, Debbie wants to connect with you. It really is true. I want real relationships. I want to hear the dreams on your heart. Nothing lights me up, my soul up more than that. So thank you, Anna, for this. Thank you for anybody that's watching. I will come back and make some comments.
Awesome. Debbie, I love you so much. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being my guest today. And thank you for inspiring the whole Circles of Inspiration audience and the Wellness Universe audience. And I love you. Thank you so much. Everyone who showed up live, if you're watching the replay, please share this with your friends, your colleagues, your peers, anyone that you want to inspire. I, of course, am always a big proponent of getting behind women-owned businesses. Please share this with a female friend or a peer of yours who has that big dream on their heart and wants to move the needle. Mwah. I'll see you all later. Thank you, Debbie.
Bye-bye.